Hi friends, this is Dr. Satish S. Bornare, Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding, KK College of Agriculture, Nasik. Today we are going to learn the topic transcription in prokaryotes. So friends, the transcription is the synthesis of RNA from a single strand of the DNA molecule in presence of the enzyme RNA polymerase, and it is a process of formation of messenger RNA using the DNA molecule. As we all know that the messenger RNA is copied the information from the DNA. So this is the transcription, and much of the pioneering work of this transcription was carried out in prokaryotes and most notably in the E. coli. So today we will discuss the mechanism of a transcription in prokaryotes, particularly in E. coli. So this transcription having some features. The RNA synthesis or transcriptions occurs by a mechanism that is similar to that of DNA synthesis, that is replication, except that first one, the precursor are ribonucleoside triphosphate rather than deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate. So here these transcription and replications are differ on the basis of the triphosphate. Second one is only one strand of the DNA is used as a template for synthesis of a complementary RNA chain in any given region in case of transcription, while in case of replication both of the DNA strands can be utilized as a template strand. And third one is the RNA chain can be initiated de novo, that is without any requirement for a pre-existing primer strand, while in case of DNA replication there is a primer needed, and the RNA molecule produced in case of the transcription will be complementary and antiparallel to the DNA template strand and identical to the DNA non-template strand, except that the uracil replaces the thymine. A requirement of a transcription. So for this transcription there is a requirement of first the template strand. So friends, in the diagram we can see the DNA molecule having two strands. One is a template strand, another is a non-template strand. So friends, this template strands is a strand from which the mRNA or RNA strand is prepared, and this template strand is a complementary to this RNA strand and antiparallel also, while another strand is non-template strand of the DNA and which is similar to the newly formed mRNA strand except the thymine in DNA and uracil in case of RNA. So this template strand is needed for the transcription. Second one is RNA polymerase enzyme. The synthesis of RNA chains like DNA chains occur in the 5' to 3' direction with the addition of ribonucleotides to the 3-hydroxyl group at the end of one chain, and this reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme called as RNA polymerase. So these RNA polymerase are needed for the transcription process, and overall transcription reaction can be summarized as the number of RTP in presence of DNA template and the RNA polymerase enzyme as a catalyst produce RMP and PP, where these N is the number of moles of ribonucleotide triphosphate, that is RTP consumed, and RMP is a ribonucleotide monophosphate incorporated into RNA, and PP is pyrophosphate produced. So this is the overall reaction of the transcription, and the RNA polymerase that catalyze the transcription are a complex multimeric protein, and in case of E. coli, the RNA polymerase consists of 5 polypeptides, but two of these are identical, that is alpha. There are two alpha, that's why thus the enzyme contains 4 distinct polypeptide such as alpha, beta, beta prime and sigma. The complete RNA polymerase molecule, that is 2 alpha, beta, beta prime and sigma, called as a holoenzyme, while RNA polymerase without this sigma factor and having 2 alpha, beta and beta prime are called as a core enzyme. And these different RNA polymerase having different functions in the transcription. The alpha subunit are involved in the assembly of tetrameric core, that is 2 alpha, beta and beta prime of the RNA polymerase, while the beta subunit contains the ribonucleoside triphosphate binding site. So that means this beta subunit is a ribonucleoside triphosphate binding site, while the beta prime subunit harbors the DNA template binding regions, and the sigma factor function is to recognize and bind RNA polymerase to the transcription initiation or promoter site in the DNA. So this sigma factor having role in transcription initiation. So these are the different RNA polymerase that required for the transcription. Now, how this transcription is going on, or what is the mechanism of the transcription in these prokaryotes? So first one is the initiation, binding upon RNA polymerase holoenzyme to a promoter region in the DNA and initiation of the transcription. This is the initiation. So here in brief we overlook what is the actual mechanism. Later on we can see in detail initiation, elongation and termination, but here we overlook whole the process. Then second steps is elongation, the process by which ribonucleotides are added to the template strand, enabling growth of the mRNA transcript continuously. And in diagram also we can see the process of initiation, elongation and then termination. The third step is the termination step, in which elongation will be continued until the RNA polymerase encounters a stop sequence, and at this stop sequence point the transcription stops and the RNA polymerase release the DNA template and the nascent RNA is released, and thus the transcription is completed. So first step is initiation of RNA chains, and this initiation of RNA chains involves further 3 steps. First one is binding of RNA polymerase holoenzyme. Here holoenzyme means all the subunits with sigma factor to a promoter region in the DNA, and the localized unwinding of the 2 strands of the DNA by RNA polymerase and providing a template strand free to base pair with the incoming ribonucleotides. And third step is the formation of phosphodiester bond between the first few ribonucleotides in the nascent RNA chain. So this is the steps in which initiation in the RNA chain is going to be started. So we can see the detail what are these promoter region in case of prokaryotes. So for the better understanding of this initiation process, so the promoter sequences of prokaryotes are nothing but the 2 conjugate sequences occurred at about 10 and 35 nucleotide base pair respectively before the transcription initiation site, and thus they are called as a -10 sequence and -35 sequence respectively. The -10 consistent sequence in the non-template strand is TATA80 and called as Tata box or Pribnow box, and the -35 consistent sequence is the TTGACA. So these are the two sequences found before the transcription initiation sites. That's why the minus sign is given to them. And these two, Tata box and TTGACA, this is the consensus sequence found in the prokaryotes, which is the promoter sequence. We can see here the transcription start at the point called as a transcription initiation point, and towards the 3' band, this is called as a downstream, and first or towards the 5' end of the 5' end of the start point, there is upstream, and this downstream is denoted by plus sign, while this upstream denoted by a minus sign. And we can see here the Tata box, and this, that is minus 10 consensus sequence is found minus 10 base pair, while this minus 35 concession site, that is TTGACA, this is minus 35 base pair from the start point. And the sigma subunit of the RNA polymerase mediates its binding to the promoter regions in the DNA. Now we just see the promoter regions, that is Tata or Prigno box, and above which the minus 35 concession sequence. The sigma subunit initially recognize and bind to the 35 sequence. Thus this sequence is sometimes called as a recognition sequence. So friends, this is the minus 35 sequence is also called as a recognition sequence, because the sigma subunit recognize this sequence. And the 80 reach 10 sequence facilitates the localized unwinding of the DNA, which is an essential prerequisite to the synthesis of new RNA chain. The holoenzyme remains bound at the promoter region during the synthesis of first 8 to 9 bonds. Then the sigma factor is released. So this sigma factor is having only role in initiation of the transcription, and after that is going to release, and after that the core enzymes, means alpha beta prime, this is the core enzyme, begins an elongation phase of the RNA synthesis and forming a transcription bubble. So we can see here the sigma factor is initiating this transcription, but after the 6 to 9 base pair is formed in RNA, this sigma factor is going to release, and then after the core enzymes continues this RNA chain formation, and these core enzymes having a role in elongation also. The second step is the elongation of RNA chain, and elongation of RNA chains is catalyzed by RNA polymerase core enzyme after the release of the sigma subunit. As we discussed earlier, after the sigma subunit releasing the RNA chain, the core enzyme continue or catalyzes the elongation of RNA chain. The covalent extension of RNA chains takes place within the transcription bubble, a locally unwound segment of the DNA. So this is transcription bubble is the locally unwound segment of DNA. Why we call this as a locally unwounded segment of DNA? Because the RNA polymerase molecule contain both DNA unwinding and DNA rewinding activities, and RNA polymerase continuously unwind the DNA double helix ahead of the polymerization site and rewind the complementary DNA strand behind the polymerization site as it moves along the double helix. So this transcription bubble is a temporary and locally unwound segment of the DNA. we can see here in the diagram the before and after there is unwinding and rewinding site, and the chain is continuously growing. And in case of E. coli, the average length of the transcription bubble is an 18 nucleotide pair, and about 40 ribonucleotides are incorporated into the growing RNA chain per second. So this is the case of E. coli transcription, in which the transcription bubble is having 18 nucleotide pair size, while the 14 while the 40 ribonucleotides are incorporated into the growing RNA chain per second, and the nascent RNA chain is displaced from the DNA template strand as the RNA polymerase moves along the DNA molecules. So this is the elongation process, and continuously growing RNA chain is prepared. Then last step is termination of the RNA chain. The termination of RNA chain occurs when RNA polymerase encounters a termination signal. When it does, the transcription complex dissociates, releasing a nascent RNA molecule. There are two types of transcription terminators found in E. coli. First type is one type results in termination only in presence of a protein called as Rho protein. Therefore, such termination sequences are called as a Rho dependent terminators. So friends, there are two types of transcription terminators in E. coli. First one is a Rho dependent terminators. This Rho is a protein and is an ATP dependent RNA stimulated helicase which binds to the signals. Thus RNAP cannot move further, so it dissociates from the DNA that disrupt the nascent RNA DNA complex and release the nascent RNA, and thus terminating the transcription. So this is the first type in which Rho protein having role in termination of this RNA chain. The other type results in termination of the transcription without involvement of this Rho protein, and such sequences are called as a Rho independent terminators. Means here the Rho protein does not have a role for termination of the transcription. So these Rho independent terminators contain a palindromic GC rich region followed by 6 or more AT base pair with the A's present in the template strand. So in this type of terminator, there are nothing a role of protein like Rho, but instead of that a palindromic GC rich region followed by a 6 or more AT base pair are the signaling for the transcription. So this palindrome means the sequence with both side forward and backward having same from the center. For example, madam, the D is the center having both side backward and forward AM. So likewise this palindromic region is the signaling in case of this Rho independent terminators. The nucleotide sequence of the GC rich region contains inverted repeats sequence of nucleotide in each DNA strand that are inverted and complementary. When transcribed, these inverted repeat region produces single stranded RNA sequences that can base pair and form a hairpin structure. The RNA hairpin structure form immediately after the synthesis of participating region of the RNA chain and retard the movement of RNA polymerase molecule along the DNA, causing pause in the chain extension. So this is the another mechanism by which the termination of the transcription takes place without the Rho protein. We can clearly see this mechanism by with the help of this diagram. You can see here, as we discussed earlier, the palindromic GC rich region followed by 6 or more AT base pair. We can observe here the yellow color poly A or 6A region, AT region. This is the area of weak hydrogen bonding, and due to that the same here, due to that GC region, before we can see here, before that A and T region, before that there is a GC rich region, and due to this we can see here, due to this there is a hairpin structure is formed in RNA transcript, and this RNA transcript forming a hairpin loop dissociates from the DNA template, and thus this is the termination of transcription in E. coli without Rho protein. So at the end, what is the difference of transcription in prokaryote and eukaryote? First one is in with respect to transcription and translation. In case of prokaryote, this transcription and translation occur simultaneously, while in case of eukaryotes it occurs separately. The process of transcription is simple in case of prokaryotes, and in case of eukaryote it is more complicated. The mRNA does not need any modification in case of prokaryote, while in case of eukaryote this mRNA further needs modification. The enzyme involved in prokaryote transcription are RNA polymerase like alpha, beta, beta prime and sigma, while in case of eukaryote 3 different RNA polymerase, that is RNA polymerase first, second and third. And in case of prokaryotes the termination, as we see earlier, is well known, while in case of eukaryote it is less clear or less understood. The site of the transcription in case of prokaryote is the cytoplasm, while in case of eukaryote it's a nucleus. The DNA molecule in case of prokaryote is a circular and free, while in case of eukaryote it is linear and packed with histone. So this is the difference of transcription in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In case of prokaryotes it is easy and simple, while in case of eukaryotes it is much more complicated. Thank you. This video is for education purpose only, and references are Genetics by B.D. Singh, Genetics by Pundan Singh, and also Genetics by Snuster and Simmons. Thanks once again for watching this video.